What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Repticon 2026. This is the first animal I'm showing off. The guy doesn't want to pull it out, but that's okay because this is a blood python. You know, some people give blood pythons a bad rap for being mean and nasty. As you can see, this animal is so calm. Look at how beautiful this monkey is. Meet my new little buddy. This happens to be a highly venomous eyelash viper from South America. I'm just kidding. This is a viper boa native to Southeast Asia. So if you guys are looking for a boa that's really intermediate, a viper boa could be for you because sometimes these guys can be a little bit nasty. But look at this guy. This guy seems pretty chill. Usually because you know Brian used to love viper boas and he would get punctured, but this guy is pretty chill. But sometimes they can be a bit nasty. They're called viper boas because of they look almost like a viper. You see the head there, but also their scales a bit more keeled like the viper. You guys know how much I love gaboon vipers, but if you guys are looking for a snake with a viper name in it, this could be for you. Look at how beautiful this monkey is. Meet my new little buddy. This happens to be a highly venomous puff adder from South Africa. Just kidding, this is an eastern hognose. Venomous are not legal here in Maryland, so this is a western hognose. This is a highly green one. You guys looking for a cool colubrid of hognose could be for you. You do have to be careful. Their saliva is a little bit toxic, so you could have an allergic reaction, but otherwise, this animal is so cool. Look at him. He's just chilling out here. If you guys, again, looking for a cool pet, a hognose could be for you. This is their first pet ball python. This happens to be a banana ball python. You guys know how much I love bananas. A funny story about the banana ball python. Believe it or not, they thought it was a caramel, and Will Slough ended up buying the animal. I forgot who he bought it from, but then he proved that to be a co-dominant trait. It was a super form, so the banana is one of my favorite genes. Look at the purple. Look at the purple on this animal. Look at how beautiful this monkey is, as Brian used to say. Meet my new little buddy. This happens to be a patternless rock python, and you guys know I've told the story numerous times. The snake that started my love for reptiles was a pure South African Nautilensis rock python. This is the patternless. Believe it or not, Jay Brewer from Prehistoric Pets had patternless ready to go to South Africa, but then South Africa banned their import, which is unfortunate. This is such a cool animal. African rock pythons are known to be quite nasty, but some of them can be very docile. I think with captive breeding, as the captive breeding progresses, they're going to be really calm. They're going to get much calmer, but just look at how beautiful he is. Hey, buddy. This happens to be a black devil boa constrictor. You guys know how much I love the IMG boa. It's one of my favorite snakes. If you're in South Africa, you might want to look away because unfortunately I don't think you're going to be getting any of these anytime soon. This is a black devil snake's got a $3,000 price tag. Just have a look at how dark this thing is. What else is in it?
IMG RDRBEA.
Oh, wow. Sure you guys heard that, but this is such a cool snake. You guys are, again, you have the budget. This is a cool snake. The IMG, I think, are going to get much more cheap, much more offensive.
That snake will be jet black in a year. And I had 17.
Wow.
That's my last one. And I had them in September.
This is, I don't know if you guys heard that, but this is such a beautiful snake. Look at how beautiful this monkey is. Meet my new little buddy. This is Lilibet. She's a boa constrictor. Look at how chunky this monkey is. I don't think I've ever seen one this big. But you know, I always say when it comes to boa constrictors, they're really intermediate, or more of an advanced snake, like the bridge. Say for example you've kept a Kenyan sand boa, then you want to go to a Brazilian rainbow, and then you want to get something like, or even a Central American boa before you get one of the Colombians. Look at how docile she is. Look at her. She is just such, she's one of our ambassadors. She travels around to kids shows. Kids can all learn about how amazing these animals are. Look at her tail right here. She's just such a puppy. Hey, sweetheart. Thank you. Meet my new little snake here. This happens to be a Gene X Orange Dream Fire Yellow Belly Piebald Ball Python. You guys know how much I love piebald ball pythons. Pete Call produced the first ones. And I think there might be even a population of pieds in the wild, believe it or not, according to Dave Kaufman. But this happens to be a Gene X, which is co-dominant. Justin Kowalka produced the first Gene X. We have the Fire that was produced by Eric Davis in the UK. We got the Yellow Belly. And then of course we got the recessive pie. This is such a beautiful snake. You guys know how much I love piebald ball python. I think it's just the yin and yang. There's another one right here. This is the Gene X Orange Dream Fire Pied. Without the yellow belly. But this is such a beautiful snake. Look at them. Say it again.
I'm Caleb.
So what you got to show me, bud?
Huh?
What are you going to show for us?
I'm going to show you the chocolate pastel roadhead hypo. This is probably my favorite out of all of these because
anybody has any questions?
It has that like pattern of like unpredictableness.
Yeah, true.
I love to see them, and my second favorite is going to be this one because I just love the pattern.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's so chill.
Yeah, I love, my favorite is the piebald because, you know, it's the perfect yin and yang. You know who produced the first pied?
No.
The guy named Peter Call right here in Maryland.
Okay.
So we got the chocolate. I love this. We got chocolate in the top, and then of course we got my favorite, the pied. Thanks, bud. This happens to be a hypo IMG boa. You guys know I just showed off a black devil, which is a huge. This is a dark IMG. This is a hypo IMG, so it's still a baby. Like I said, the IMG starts off normal looking. Then as it gets older, it turns jet black, which got a beautiful iridescence. This is the hypo, and the thing I find interesting with boa constrictors and Burmese pythons is that the hypo gene is co-dominant. Usually it's recessive, but if you add albino to the snake, this snake is going to be even more beautiful. But the thing is, I really don't see the point of breeding anything else to the IMG besides albino, because once it gets older, the pattern just fades away. But other than this, when you can enjoy it when it's a baby, I think this snake is incredible. Look at how beautiful she is. Meet Coconut. He happens to be a normal ball python, I think. Normal or?
Yeah, normal.
He's a normal ball python. I know this is not my typical what I usually do. You know, I like to show off the morphs, but sometimes it's the normal animal. This guy's, look at him. He's like, hey, get that camera out of my face. But I gotta tell you a story, bud. He was a neglect. They found him in southern Maryland. And I always want to talk about, when it comes to pets, you have to do a lot of research, whether it's a ball python, a sulcata tortoise, a bird, anything. And you gotta make sure you know how long it's gonna live. As Brian Cusco says, this is not a toy, and as I say sometimes, this is not an autographed Peyton Manning helmet or an autographed Peyton Manning game-worn jersey or a Bentley. This is a ball python. This is a life, and a life is priceless. Just look at how beautiful this animal is. Sorry that happened to you, buddy, but look at how much she's recovered. This happens to be a Sumatran blood python. You guys know how much I love blood pythons. Fredericksburg feeders, make sure you guys go show them some love. So the thing I just want to show about the blood pythons, a lot of times people buy them thinking they're just going to be mean, they're going to be nasty, they're aggressive. Some people say they're blood pythons because they like to draw blood, etc. The truth is, sometimes blood pythons can really tame out. Sometimes they calm down quite quickly, especially if they're captive bred. And I think with captive breeding, these blood pythons are going to get calmer and more gentle. Just look at him; he's just chilling right there on the guy's hand, not striking, not hissing. But just look at that beautiful pattern on there. I love blood pythons. This happens to be a mahogany GHI black pastel ball python. You guys know how much I love black pastels. Unfortunately, sometimes when you breed get a super black pastel, sometimes they have kinks. But this is just the regular black pastel. This is another one of my favorite genes, is GHI, which means gotta have it. And then of course we got the mahogany, which is a co-dominant, or the super mahogany is like a dark, almost a jet black ball python too. But look at how the colors of something. The snake is so earthy. You know, I love these polygenic traits. So I'm here at Baltimore pythons, which is kind of cool. We're close to Baltimore. So if you guys are looking for a cool ball python, go show these guys some love. Such a beautiful snake. This happens to be a snow eastern coral snake, native here to the US, highly venomous. I'm just kidding. Even though this was a coral snake, never free-handle venomous snakes. Brian used to say there's no badge of honor for being bitten by a venomous snake, but this is a snow Honduran milk snake, native to Honduras. You guys know, I love milk snakes. You guys know the wives' tale, red touches yellow, kills a fallow, red touches black is a friend of Jack. This is the albino, an anerythristic, so it's a double recessive. You breed an albino to an anery, you get double hets, so then you breed those, so it's 1 out of every 16 shots to produce the snow. And I think Brian Barczyk brought in the first albino Hondurans, or the Nelsons, one of the two. But this is such a beautiful snake. You guys looking for a cool colubrid? A milk snake could be for you. They're called milk snakes because farmers used to accuse them of stealing milk from the barn. But do not ever feed your pet snakes milk. No snakes drink milk. So this is such a cool snake. This happens to be a giant butterfly agama. These guys are native to the Middle East. These guys are so pretty. Just look at the pattern on this animal here. You guys know how much I love agamas. You guys are looking for a cool lizard, but oftentimes most lizards eat insects. These guys are omnivores. This guy's in shed here. So these are what they call butterfly agamas, is because of their colors, almost like a butterfly. This is such a cool. You guys looking for a cool lizard, and you guys, I think these are more intermediate, I'd say. You guys have experience, this could be for you. This happens to be a Madagascar hognose. Yep. These guys are from, you got 3 kinds of Madagascar hognose. I forgot what they are at the top of my head, but these guys are from like the main island, which is kind of cool. These guys, you know, unfortunately, Madagascar doesn't allow export anymore, so you guys are looking for a cool hognose, this could be for you. And believe it or not, this is one of the few snakes that can actually be cohabitated, believe it or not. So you want to have multiple of these in a enclosure, they won't bother them at all. Look at how beautiful he is. Hey, buddy. Just close that head there. Look at him. He's like, yeah, let me go chill on your hand there. You can go rest now, buddy. Thank you. This happens to be a T-positive albino Batic matrix blood python, or a Batrix. Batrix and matrix are co-dominant. The matrix is linked to the blue-eyed leucistic, which is the ivory. But now this guy unfortunately is a little bit cantankerous, so we're not going to pull him out. Now the super baitic is more of a dark, almost jet black animal. Then of course this is the T-positive, the recessive, which is such a cool snake. It's kind of a caramel hue to it. You guys know how much I love caramel albino berms. I hope they get a caramel albino retic, caramel albino African rock that's in the UK. This is such a cool snake here. Show Michelle some love. You guys know I'm not usually a fan of hybrids, but this happens to be a hybrid between an albino corn snake and an Emery's rat snake. So the corn snakes are native to southeast part of the US, and the Emery's rat snakes are native to the Texas region. So this is an albino, which is called a creamsicle. So again, the albino is a recessive trait. So of course you get the albino Emery's rat snake too, but oftentimes they do crossbreed in nature. But I'm not usually a fan of hybrids, but sometimes I just think they are cool, just as cool as a normal regular non-hybrid ball python or a non-hybrid corn snake for that matter. This is such a beautiful snake. Look at the colors on this monkey. These happens to be emerald tree skinks native to the Solomon Islands. These guys are so sociable, believe it or not, but right now they're just, because so many people are walking by there, so I'm going to stress them out too much. These guys are actually like a monitor where they can actually learn their names and they can actually be really cool, sociable pets. So you're looking for a cool pet skink, these could be for you. These guys are, like I said, native to the Solomon Islands and Papua New Guinea. These guys are so green, like sometimes you're walking through those forests, you'll never know if they're there. But just look at how beautiful these guys are. I love that green color. Meet my new little buddy. This happens to be an Ecuadorian boa constrictor. These guys, this is a locality from Ecuador. You guys know how much I love the boa constrictors. You guys know how much I love I love all reptiles, you know that. But this is such a beautiful boa. I really wish I could have had a boa like this when I lived in South Africa, because you know, now you're not allowed to have a boa constrictor unless you have a permit, and they've banned the importation because they're worried they're going to be an invasive species, which these will not be a problem in South Africa, not even Durban. It's too many predators there. But look at how beautiful the snake is. Just look at that tail here. Ooh, doggy, she's beautiful. As Brian used to say, look at that beautiful tongue. Hey, sweetheart. This happens to be a 87% Ambiolabi, an Ambaja panther chameleon. These guys are native to Madagascar. I always say chameleons aren't the best handling reptiles, and of course they don't live for very long, so maybe 5 years max. But again, they really aren't the best handling animals. They stress out very easily. Of course, some can be quite amazing, but the common myth with chameleons is that they change color to blend in with their surroundings, and that's not true. They blend in, so they get darker to warm up and lighter to cool down, or they do it. Yeah, some of it is camouflage in the bushes. That's just, also they also use it as a way to enhance their mood. So if they're dark, they're a little stressed out. Just look at how cool this guy is. Look at him. So here we've got a chocolate pastel spider, or chocolate bumblebee. You guys know, I think it's a good thing I'm showing a chocolate right now. You know, Brian Barczyk produced the first chocolates back in '97, I think. And this is a few years ago. He died today. A couple of days ago, it was the 3rd year anniversary of his death. You know how much, Brian, I miss you a lot. I miss watching you on the vlog. But every time I see one of your ball pythons, I just get reminded that, you know, so many people can leave such a great legacy, and behind is Brian left behind such a beautiful animal. Brian, I miss you. This is such a beautiful snake, though. Pastel is co-dominant, produced by Greg Graziani of the Python Hunters. And this guy's doing the typical spider wobble. Now, McCurley proved out the spider, but you know, I just think these are such cool animals. Why did they outlaw the spider gene? I will never know, but because it's just such an amazing animal. It doesn't wobble. It's not going to die. It's just common. Last snake I'm showing you guys is this happens to be a Dumerel's boa, or I can't remember, that was the first place, but it's Dumerelli, named after I think it was a Belgian herpetologist. These guys are native to the island of Madagascar. I'm going to put a link for Dave Kaufman's video when he went to Madagascar, so you guys can know how to take care of these animals. You guys are looking for a boa, because you know some boa constrictors can get pretty big. These guys almost get as big, don't get as big, but they're still very impressive snakes. They still get pretty girthy. This is a big chunky monkey, and you can see this guy is puppy dog tame. Meet my new little buddy. This happens to be this last animal I'm going to show you guys. This is an albino conda hognose. You guys know how much I love the hognose. I tell you guys know my friend DJ in South Africa loves hognose snakes, so every time these guys pop up, I almost get reminded of a puff-headed. Look at how beautiful she is. She's 5 years old, and she's a proven breeder. Look how gorgeous she is. Thank you guys for watching the video. Have an amazing night. Whenever you're watching, God bless.